Before I get started with this commentary, I have to give a shout out to Afro Elite because I was literally in the middle of his live when the thought to even do this commentary came to mind. As y'all can see by the screenshot, you can see the little live logo right there in the corner, and he was actually, like I said, currently live. He's actually still live right now as I'm recording this, but I said let me get this out now while I still have the thoughts flowing through my head. And what made me start to talk about it was when he got onto this person named Jeremy. Now, if y'all don't know who Jeremy is, it's the person right there on the screen who's on the right. The person to the left of him is Steven Crowder. Both of them are staunchly anti-black. But when I was listening to what he was saying involving Jeremy, I said, I need to make a commentary, not so much responding to what Afro's talking about, but I just wanted to go over why I believe these white supremacists are thoroughly obsessed with black people, and just explain how this is not a new phenomenon by any measure. This is something that is very, very historical. And it basically, I basically narrowed it down to a few points. So let's just go ahead and get into it. Something that a lot of people notice but don't always break down is, why are white supremacists so obsessed with black Americans? I'm not talking about just a simple dislike or prejudice. I mean, they have a strange fixation where everything about us, from our existence to our culture to our progress, becomes the center of their worldview. And when you start peeling back the layers, you begin to realize it's because white supremacy itself literally cannot exist without black people as the counterpoint. America built its wealth and global status on slavery, on the forced labor and dehumanization of black people. White supremacy as a system was invented to justify that. So from day one, black existence has been central to how they define themselves. Without black people, their ideology loses its anchor. That's why they can't stop looking at us, talking about us, and trying to control our every move, because their identity depends heavily on it. Every time black people make progress, whether it was during Reconstruction, the Civil Rights Movement, or just culturally today, it triggers fear in white supremacists. They see us moving forward as they start losing control, and that fear turns into obsession. They need to feel like they are watching us, criticize us, and suppress us just to maintain the illusion of superiority. And here's the irony of it all. They consume our culture while pretending to hate us. Black Americans set global trends, and y'all know what I love to say. We are the trendsetters of the world. Nothing moves that needle quite like we do, and when we stop moving it, it's over. But we set global trends in music, fashion, language, sports, and art. And it's crazy because, ironically, while I was watching this, I was going back and forth between Afro's live and another tab on YouTube, and I came across a short video that popped up in my recommendeds, where it was this black guy, and he was asking, it was a shorts video where he was asking mainly only white people. I think he probably went to maybe a PWI campus, and he just asking a simple question. He says, what is one thing that you like about black people? I heard things from naturally funny, the hair, the culture, the food, the trends, the clothes, basically everything that these white supremacists say that we should be hated about or hated for. Other white people were sitting there and saying that's why that was one thing that they loved, and that was just one thing. They probably could have went down a whole laundry list of things if they had more time, but the guy asked them just one thing. And honestly, those are the honest ones right there. And the reason why I say that is because when I was looking at the video, they didn't mince their words. They didn't like say, I gotta think about it. No, they just came right out with it. It was almost like a rapid fire thing. So when you think of people saying things along the lines of, you know, they hate our culture because this is thug culture, it's hood culture, and all this, that, and the third, that is nothing but a bunch of projection. Really, at its core, a lot of white supremacists, they hate that they're not us. That's really, you ever heard the phrase, they hate us because they ain't us? At its core, that's really what it boils down to, and they cannot get over it. They cannot shake it no matter what, and we're a constant reminder of their mediocrity. That's another thing. Let's just get in the practice of saying that white supremacists hate us because we are the reflection of their mediocrity. Like what they try to attain, they cannot get. No matter how hard they try, it's just not working. That's really all it boils down to. So with that being said, that influence becomes a reminder of the power we have. And in turn, for them, it turns into resentment. And that resentment turns into obsession. Another reason is numbers. White supremacists are obsessed with population statistics. The so-called Great Replacement, and who do they always point to as proof that whiteness is under attack? Black Americans. Even though we're not the fastest growing group in the US, our presence is symbolically threatening to them because we've always been here just as long, if not longer, than many of their own ancestors. Instead of dealing with the guilt of slavery, segregation, and ongoing inequality, they project that guilt onto us. They blame us for crime, they blame us for poverty, they blame us for the things white supremacy itself has created. Black people become the eternal scapegoat, which again requires constant obsession. And maybe the biggest reason, we're still here. After centuries of slavery, lynchings, segregation, mass incarceration, and systemic discrimination, Black Americans are still standing. We're still thriving and we're still creating. That resilience drives white supremacists crazy because it proves the lie of their supposed superiority. You can't claim to be better while trying so hard to destroy the very people that you say are beneath you. So when we ask why white supremacists are so obsessed with us, the answer is quite simple. Their entire worldview depends on us. We are their mirror. We are their scapegoat. We are their proof, and we are their fear, all rolled into one. And that's the ultimate weakness of white supremacy. It cannot stand on its own. Without Black Americans to fixate on, the whole thing collapses, which I find is very funny considering that you have some of them say, I wish we can just snap y'all and y'all get out of, fade into obscurity or get out of existence, or, you know, when they always used to tell us to go back to Africa. And I'm sitting there saying to myself, if that's the case, then that happens, what are y'all going to end up doing? Like, white supremacy will literally crumble because, like I stated before, they need us in order for white supremacy to thrive. Without us, it does not thrive. It doesn't survive. It's going to die. Literally. We are literally their lifeline. Us merely existing is why they are able to still function today at its core. Granted, they've latched on to other different things, but at the core, we're like the engine. Like, think of it as a car. We're the engine. Once that engine goes, that car is not moving. So, like I said, without us, their whole scope and worldview or their system will literally collapse. Their obsession isn't even about inferiority. It's about their insecurity. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments, and I will talk to you in the next one.